Hey, good morning. Excuse me. Today we're going with a Victor Sinclair Legacy, like last time, except this is the box press. Right off the bat, it smells good. It smells... I'm not getting that dried fruit, like the raisiny smell, but I am getting a very woodsy scent, like I'd say closer to an oak than cedar. It smells good. I'm gonna give it maybe some grass thrown in there. I'm gonna give it a 7. 7 out of 10 for the Aroma. Handy dandy Hammersmith V cutter. So it didn't split or anything. Points in its favor. Hang on. Come to the stoplight. Okay. My lighter not working. I just filled it. Zycar, you're fucking up, bud. Go back to my old reliable Hammersmith lighter. There we go. First time every time. Draw is nice. A little bit of resistance, but not too crazy bad. I like the draw. Not bad. Little bit of pepper on the backside, which is nice. Right? Like, it's not overwhelming, it's right there at the back of the tongue. A little bit of pepper. I'm getting a lot of that woodsy scent, woodsy flavor, and again, it's closer to like an oak than it is to the cedar that I've been tasting a lot lately. that nice peppery background. I like this quite a bit. So far, anyway. So it's a Victor Sinclair. Again, this is backwards, so you probably can't read that. Victor Sinclair Legacy, box press. I dig it. So I read something the other day, scrolling through Reddit as one does, and it said, I'm a part of a couple of different cigar pages on Reddit. I'm subscribed to a couple of different ones, and one of them said, a comment that was left on a post intrigued me. It said, well, the original post said something about, how are you guys picking up on all these flavors? Like, I'm new to it. I'm not real well versed in it or anything. I can't pick up on the flavors that you guys are picking up on. And the very first comment was, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines of, if you're getting, for example, chocolate notes, you're not puffing in the smoke and tasting a chocolate bar necessarily. You are getting a hint of something that reminds you of what you remember chocolate tasting like. And the same with pepper, and the same with the, wood, etc., leather. You're not getting punched in the mouth with flavor, right? I'm sure there are some that will do that, but none that I've ever come across anyway. You're not getting pure chocolate or pure leather or pure oak. You're getting a hint of something that reminds you of cedar, a hint of something that reminds you of chocolate, of leather, of pepper, which I had never really considered, because I'm definitely tasting for like those pure flavors, and I was wondering why I wasn't really getting much. I was getting that leather a couple of times. That was coming through fairly strong. I think that's one of the easiest ones for me to taste for, is that leather. But it's not necessarily a pure flavor. You're just getting kind of reminded of it, which is good to know, because that's gonna do nothing but help me in identifying the flavors that I'm coming across. Also, it's gonna change from person to person, if I'm understanding it right, because it all depends on how your brain puts together the memories of these flavors, right? So everybody's brain's a little bit different. We'll just leave it as I've had quite a few head injuries, which have affected my brain function, right? Like, I'm not drooling and chewing on crayons or anything, licking windows, but my brain does function different than a lot of people's now. So your flavors, the flavors and things that you're tasting for, there's a good chance they won't be exactly the same as mine are, as what I'm tasting, getting some leather, right? Again, I think leather is one of the easiest ones for me personally to taste for. I get it in most of the cigars I've come across so far. But so I'm getting a little bit of oak, I'm getting a little bit of leather, and I'm still getting that pepper in the background. So I'm digging this cigar so far. Way better than that last Victor Sinclair I did. The draw is getting a little bit tighter though. I'm hoping that loosens up. So I've talked a lot about one of the deployments that I was on, the 31st Mu. Right, I've told a few different stories about that, and there are still stories to be told, but I'm gonna switch gears for a second. So while we were still in training, we eventually went to Afghanistan, right? But while we were in training for Afghanistan, we went to a place called 21 Palms, and it's in the Mojave Desert, and that's where we were doing the hot weather training, our desert training and whatnot. And that place fucking sucks. Like, without a doubt, 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Yeah, this one doesn't seem to be holding the ash very well. I don't know if you can see that, but like the ash flared out. And that happened even before it dropped, so I don't know what's up with that. Interesting. Anyway, 29 Palms, aka the Stumps. That shit sucks. However, there are some stories to be told there. So we were all, I was in a infantry company, infantry battalion in a weapons company, and so we were mostly in Humvees, right? So we were doing maneuvers and things of that nature, you know, training up, getting ready for when we deploy. And we had stopped to eat chow in the middle of the day. And so, you know, they pass out the MREs or whatever. And my buddy, we're gonna call him Hotel. So, Hotel, he's about 4'8", maybe, on a good day. Well, but he's jacked, like he's a little troll. That man is he's jacked. That dude's strong as hell. And he'll do anything on a dare. He doesn't give a shit. He'll do absolutely anything on a dare. So So we stop for lunch. All the MREs get passed out, right? And we're just fucking around, talking shit, whatever. And somebody says, "Yo, Hotel, hey, do a line of this crushed red pepper." So every one of the MREs comes with this little paper packet of crushed red pepper. and it's probably, I mean, it's not really crushed, it's powdered red pepper. But anyway, so he was like, nah, dude, I'm not about to do that stupid shit. And so they go, I'll get you a case of beer when we get back. And he was like, don't fuck with me on this. I'm like, no, it's cool, I'll throw in a case of beer. And then someone else goes, yo, I got a case of beer on that. I'd like to see that. I'll throw in a case of beer. And so somebody else goes, yeah, whatever. So he's finally got like 6 or 7 cases of beer riding on this. And at that point, he can't back down. He can't look like a pussy in front of everybody, right? So he's like, all right, fuck. So he's looking around. He's like, I'm really not looking forward to this. So he lines up this entire packet of the red pepper, and it is probably a full gram of this crushed red pepper, and it is a fat line. And he rolls up a piece of paper, and he just hammers this whole fucking like gram line of this crushed red pepper. And immediately his eyes start to just pour tears. He's cussing, he's yelling, he's launching snot rockets trying to get rid of it. Fucking funny, man. Absolutely hilarious. Like, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen somebody intentionally do. But he got like I said, he got 6 or 7 cases of beer out of it once we got back to base. He hated life for a while, though. Dumbass. Fucking great. Good times, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I miss those days. I don't miss the random bullshit, but I miss my guys, you know? It wasn't all sunshine and puppy dogs, but I miss those days a lot of the time. I tell you what, though, range 400 in 29 Palms, fuck that place. I'm up, they see me, I'm down, over and over and over and over and over, in the hot sun, in the sand. It's like 130 degrees outside, and we're doing this bullshit in full gear. Buddy rushes, fuck that place. Fuck range 400. Another day while we were there, again at fucking chow time, they're passing out the MREs and hotel and so this other guy that I was pretty tight with at the time, but from what I've heard, he got locked up for doing some real sketchy, inappropriate shit with his 13-year-old niece. That's the story. I don't have any confirmation on it. That's just the last time I heard. So I hope it's not true. I genuinely hope it's not true, because I was fucking cool with him at the time. But so this guy Papa, and I'm going phonetic alphabet. You know what I mean? Like, he was a dumbass and does not really rate the title Papa, other than the fact that he has a couple of kids. But it is what it is. But I was pretty cool with him at the time. But he's always been kind of a he was a hothead and a pussy at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like he would lose his temper pretty easy, but he'd also get punked real easy. So it doesn't matter. We're all they're passing out the MREs, and And Papa goes, yo, if there's a... I forget exactly which one he wanted. He's like, if there's fucking chili mac, I got dibs on it or whatever, you know what I mean? And there was only one left. And so Hotel looks at him. Hotel fucking hated him. Hated him with a fiery passion. Hated this guy. So he was like, what were you looking for? The chili mac? Papa's like, yeah. So he's like, well, there's only one left. And he rips it open and just starts fucking eating it right in front of Papa. And he was like, yo, you know I called that, blah, 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 whatever. And he was like, and? Like, what are you gonna fucking do? So, Papa takes off after Hotel and just starts chasing him around this fucking Humvee. And they do probably 6 or 8 laps around this Humvee. And Hotel's just laughing his balls off. Papa's pissed though. Like, he's fucking livid. And like, he's legit trying to get a hold of Hotel. And so, after a couple of minutes, like, you can tell Hotel, it clicks in his head, like, why am I running from this guy? So, he turns around and out of nowhere spears the fuck out of Papa. Like, just spears the shit out of him. Fucking knocks him down. They're rolling around in the sand. And fucking Papa gets winded, and Hotel just gets up and walks back over to his MREs. I guess in talking about it, it's one of those things where you had to be there for it to be super funny. But it was fucking funny. It was fucking funny. I miss those days. Yeah, so we went to Afghanistan pretty quick after that. Excuse me. Afghanistan was rough. I actually ended up going home pretty early on in the deployment because I got hurt. They ended up having to rebuild my whole right leg. So that was shit, but I miss my guys, you know what I mean? I'm getting more leather now. But I'm also getting... So you know when you bite into an orange for the first time, and you know it's real juicy, your mouth starts to water. That's kind of almost what I'm getting. Like, I'm not tasting citrus, but alongside that oak and that leather, I'm getting like a freshness almost. That's making my mouth water. It's nice. I like it. I lost a lot of friends in Afghanistan. That was a really shitty deployment. Honestly, I'm not really ready to talk about that just yet to you guys. Going back to the Mew. The Mew was a fucking good time, right? So I was up front with you guys about the fact that I was a fucking shitbag. I was. There's no getting around that. So when we were leaving right, so we would go from, we were based out of Okinawa, Japan, right? So we were in Okinawa, we'd get on ship, and we went to Thailand and then came back, and we were back for a couple of weeks or whatever. And then we'd get back on ship, go to the Philippines and come back. And we were back from the Philippines for like 6 or 8 weeks, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. Before we got back on ship and went to Australia. So hold on, before I get into that, you see that it's starting to flare out again. That's weird. Anyway, that's weird. Anyway, so while we were back in Okinawa between all these trips, we would do some training and we'd have some downtime and things like that. It was kind of just life as usual. Before we shipped off to the next place. So at the end of the day, one Friday or Saturday, me, Zulu, Hotel, and Bravo. I think that was the group we went in. We went out to, my buddy Sierra was there as well. So we went out to this bar called the Doghouse out in town. And it was in the basement of this building. And at the time, I've kind of gotten away from it, but at the time, I was all about fucking Jägermeister, right? I'll drink Jaeger bombs all night long, and that was my drink of choice. And everybody pretty much knew that. So if they were buying around or whatever, that's what they would bring me. So, so we get to the Doghouse this evening, or that evening, excuse me, and my buddy Zulu, he brings over he goes up to the bar and gets the drinks and brings it back to the table, and he's got a couple of beers. He's got 3 Jaeger bombs, and he's got what had to be a triple shot in this jar of this amber liquid, right? And I was like, yo, you got me a Jaeger bomb. Like, I appreciate that, man. And he's like, oh, no. All 3 of these Jaeger bombs are for you. And I was like, bet, dude. I fucking appreciate that, right? And he said, but in order for you to get the Jaeger bombs, you got to drink this first. And he hands me the glass with like the triple shot in it. And I'm like, no, don't play games with me. He was like, I'm like, this isn't fucking tequila, is it? So, little backstory, me and tequila have a history. I have a 100% arrest rate when it comes to drinking tequila. I've had tequila 3 times, and I've been arrested 3 times. I don't fuck with tequila anymore. And this was not new information, right? He knew up front, and he was like, no, this isn't tequila. And I was like, dude, I swear to God, if you're fucking with me, and I slam this and it's tequila, you're paying any bail I end up with. It's like, dude, it's not tequila. All right, man. So I smell it, and it's fucking strong, whatever it is. Yeah, this isn't holding the fucking ash for shit. It's holding the cherry okay so far, but it's not holding the ash for shit. Anyway. So I was like, alright, man. Like, I'll fucking do it. So I smell it, whatever it is, it's fucking strong. So I kind of brace myself. I fucking smash it. And as soon as I set it down, I immediately, like, I just have that fucking fire in my throat, fucking fire down going into my chest, into my stomach, and I'm like, I'm fucking coughing. Dude, what the fuck was that? This motherfucker, he brought me a triple shot of 151, Bacardi 151, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? To put out that fire, I fucking smashed all 3 of these Jaeger bombs. Dude, that was a rough night. That night was fucking horrible. I lied. It wasn't 151, excuse me. It was Wild Turkey 101 is what it was. But still, fuck, man. He brought me a triple shot of Wild Turkey 101. And I was done. That's not, that and the Jaeger bombs aren't all I had to fucking drink that night, but I was fucking done that night. I was absolutely obliterated. Bastard. I gotta slow down here. There's a lot of cops around this area. There was this guy in Okie, like a street vendor, had a little food cart that he would set up around all the bars, and he didn't speak shit for English, right? Japanese dude, older, probably late 60s, early 70s Japanese dude. Excuse me. And he was selling these skewers of street meat. And they were good. They were like fucking 2 or 3 for $1, if I remember right. They were fucking delicious. And like he understood a couple of he understood a few English words or whatever, but he didn't speak it by any means. But you'd go up and be like, yeah, you know, we'd try to communicate with him, and oh, you know, I want some pork and I want some chicken, and etc. etc. So one day, we went up to him, and he didn't have them separated like he normally does, right? Like he would normally have like pork on one side and chicken on the other side of his little grill, or you know, he'd have them separated in some way, but he didn't have them separated today. And so we were trying to communicate, like, yo, what are these? Like, what are these? And he kept going, meow, meow. So we're like, dude, are we eating cat? Is that what the fuck we're about to eat? And he had a smile on his face the whole time. So I kind of doubt it, but at the same time, like, the shit was delicious. It might have been cat. I have no idea, but it was fucking tasty. Whatever it was. So this draw is getting pretty tough, and it seems like the cherry wants to go out. So I got to keep puffing it kind of hard to get it back up. I'm getting little notes of like dark chocolate or something though. Like a little bit of the dark chocolate bitterness, and then like the cocoa notes. Flavor wise, this is pretty tasty. It's not super complex or anything, but it's pretty tasty. But the composition I think it was rolled a little bit too tight. that street meat guy, he was always fucking around. He would do like magic tricks and shit while you were talking to him, and they were all simple. Like, he's not fucking pulling a rabbit out of his hat or nothing crazy, but he'd like sleight of hands things. Like, he'd do shit like get a cigarette from somebody and make it disappear into one nostril and show his hands and then pull it out of the other nostril. Like, just dumb sleight of hand, like, keep the crowd entertained shit. And every time we went up to him, we were fucking drunk anyway, so he didn't have to try super hard to keep us entertained. But man, that dude was awesome. He would like pull a bunch of colorful scarves out of somebody else's pocket, and that was cool. I don't remember what his fucking name was, but he was cool. And those fucking meat skewers hit the spot at the end of the night, I'll tell you what. Fuck, it could have all been Cat. He could have been lying to us the whole time. Meat, pork, and chicken, and laughing to himself in Japanese like, I got these damn Americans, they're all fucking stupid. Whatever. I don't care, it was delicious. I could have been eating rat. I don't give a shit. I've eaten worse. So that pairs really nicely with Red Bull, surprisingly. I drink too much Red Bull. I really do. Oh, that's a car coming. And I know I do. But I get real cranky when I'm under-caffeinated. And I prefer cold and carbonated over hot coffee, to be honest. I still have a cup of coffee most mornings, sitting with my wife and then easing into the day. But given a choice, I'll pick cold and carbonated every day. Excuse me. Christmas was okay. I make okay money now, which is kind of a new development. So I try to show my family a good Christmas when I can, right? Like, don't get me wrong, my entire fucking family is spoiled. Every one of them. My wife and all my kids, they're all fucking spoiled. But they're not spoiled rotten. And there is a difference there. Like, they're spoiled, but they know they're spoiled. And they're grateful for the things that we do for them. Which makes a big difference. It's when that entitled attitude comes into play. That's when it becomes a problem, right? That's when they decide that, oh, I deserve all the spoiling that I get. I deserve to have. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. I deserve to have all of this stuff all the time, to get whatever I want, to get blah 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 blah. That's when it becomes a problem. But they're not. they know they're spoiled, and I don't my wife and I, excuse me, don't have to do all these things for them, but we do it anyway, and they're grateful for it, which makes all the difference in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy I don't know what the hell that was, but that was not a tasty flavor. I enjoy spoiling my family. I really do. When I have the money, I do it. But it's when you get mad that you're not being spoiled. That's when it's like, okay, well, I don't have to do all this shit for you. I do it because I want to, but if you're going to be a dickhead about it, I'm not going to do it anymore. So, anyway, rabbit hole. So, Christmas was okay. I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted, but I'm taking, so my oldest daughter is almost 19. She'll be 19, you know, early 2025. So I decided that I was going to pay for her first tattoo. She's been kind of wanting one for a while. So I decided I'm going to pay for her first tattoo. And my wife, she's been wanting to get some stuff updated, and so she's got my kids' names on her, and she wanted to get those updated because it's been a while. Like, she doesn't have everybody on there yet. She's got a turtle on her leg, a sea turtle. My wife is all about sea turtles, so she got a sea turtle on her leg, and she wanted to do baby sea turtles around it to represent the kids, and she hasn't had that done yet. So I'm gonna pay for that. And then one of my middle daughters is a fucking huge artist. Like, she's got crazy skill. And so she's got crazy skill when it comes to art. And we've always gotten her like drawing books and things like that. But when it comes to actual art supplies, I was getting her like, I would get her more, but I was getting her like the Walmart brand shit, you know what I mean? And I understand that there's a difference in quality between art supplies, right? Not necessarily the most expensive is the best, right? Like anything else, some stuff is just overpriced for no fucking reason. But like, if she was asking for crayons, and I went out and instead of getting her good like Crayola, if I brought home the shitty rose art, then I mean, yeah, it's the thought that counts up to a certain point, but there's only so much you can do with good vibes. You know what I mean? Like, if the material itself sucks, there's only so much you can do with it. So, or only so good you can make your stuff look if you're working with bullshit to begin with. So I told her, I was like, look, like, I don't know shit about the different brands and things for art supplies. I said, so when we drop off your mom and sister to their tattoo appointment, like, me and you will go out and I'll take you on like an art supply shopping spree. We'll go to an actual like art store in one of the good sized cities that's fairly close by. We'll go to an actual like legit art store, and I'll give you a dollar amount, and you can just go crazy, get whatever you want up to that dollar amount. So she was pretty happy about that. Because like I said, I don't know shit about the different brands. Like I don't know what you better chill out. Fucking cops. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know like what art supplies she wants. Like, and if I told her, hey, give me a list and I'll go get it, that's not as fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's half the fun is spending the time with her. You know? Because she's at that age where she wants to spend most of her time in her room with her headphones on, scrolling on her phone. And while I get the need for solitude, like I get that, but half the fun is spending time with my kids. So that's what we're gonna do. So Christmas was okay. My other middle daughter, the one who lives with her mom in a different state, she just passed her permit test the other day to get her permit, her driving permit. So I'm super proud of that. It took me, my permit test I passed on the first try, I think, because I've always been good at like written tests. But when it came to getting my driver's license, I had to take that shit 3 times. The behind the wheel portion before they would let me get my license. I think she's gonna do better than that. Dude, I don't know what kind of funky ass flavor this shit turned into, but I was really digging it for like the first fucking third. The first third of this stick, this cigar, I was really enjoying. But now that it's moving into the second third, I don't know what that shit evolved into, but I don't like it at all. It's like spoiled almost. Like it's it got really bitter and almost like a almost like a spoiled like mildew taste. I think I'm done with this. I'm not gonna try to fucking push through that, because if that, you know, I'll give it another like 10 minutes, but if that shit keeps up, I think I'm done. I'll give it until this video hits the hour mark. So that's about another 11 minutes ish. And it might just be because it's got like a combination mildew / bitter burned flavor. The burned might be because it's getting the cherry doesn't want to stay fucking lit, and the draw is getting harder. So the burned flavor might be my fault. But that mildew, I'm not digging that at all. It's probably terrible for me. buddy Trevor's over here, snoozing in the sunshine. Come on, Trevor. Huh. Yeah. Bastard. I love this little shithead. Huh. I know. Man. Yeah, this cherry doesn't want to fucking stay lit. I'm having to work really hard to keep this cherry lit. So, Hammersmith. Since I pretty much exclusively use your fucking products, I love this lighter. I really do. It's got a cigar rest on top of it for when you're sitting at the table or whatever. I like it. And I exclusively use this Hammersmith V cutter. Oh, that was upside down. So Hammersmith, since I pretty much exclusively use your shit, and Zycar has proven that even though it's a cool lighter, it's unreliable. How about sending me some free stuff, man? That'd be pretty sweet. Giving you a shout out and whatnot. Yeah, I don't like that shit at all. I'm hoping that it clears up pretty quick, but I'm not super hopeful. Also, see, I need to touch that shit up. Let's try Zycar again. Maybe I just had it turned down too far? Because I just filled it this morning, so I know it's not out. Maybe I overfilled it. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. All right. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was operator error. Hey. Stop that. Yeah, quickly losing a lot of points for this shit. So I was doing this, I was putting a tarp up on this lady's house yesterday? Day before yesterday, maybe. What's today? Today's Monday. Yeah, so it was yesterday. I put a tarp up on this lady's house. And, she paid me and everything, what we agreed on. And she goes, hey, you want a tip? I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to say no to a tip. You know what I mean? I'm not in the tax bracket where I can just turn down a tip. And she goes, I'm like, yeah, I'll take a tip. Like, I appreciate it. You think I did a good job or whatever? She goes, you want a kitten? I was like, fuck. All right, well, I think my wife might punch me in the face if I bring home another animal. So let me make a phone call. But I guess what was happening is this lady, she's kind of out in the boonies, out in the sticks, and somebody just dropped off these cats on her property, and all the neighborhood kids, like there's 2 or 3 houses within sight, of her house. And I guess the kids that are in that area fucking walk around with BB guns and like fucking like firecrackers and shit. And they'll go out of their way to shoot at any animals they find. They'll throw firecrackers at cats and just in general be little fucking monsters. And the parents don't seem to have a fucking problem with it. They'll go to church and be fucking bragging about, oh, little Johnny, he's getting so good with his BB gun, he can pick a cat off at 50 yards or fucking whatever. Like, they're bragging about it. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, let me catch, I don't give a fuck if they're my kid or not, let me catch a child, or an adult for that matter, shooting at a cat or a dog or a fucking squirrel or something. There's no reason for that. Like, I'll whoop your ass on fucking principle, on sight, if I see that shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. You could be a cop in uniform. If you start shooting at an animal, I'm whooping your ass. In fairness, a lot of cops need an ass whooping anyway. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole I'm not going to go down right now. Dude, honestly, I feel like this fucking cigar is giving me the plague or some shit. I'm tasting nothing but mildew. I'm not gonna give it the additional fucking 3 minutes or whatever. I think I'm done with this. Alright, so for aroma, this should smell good. I said I was gonna give it, what did I say, a 6.5 for the fucking smell? I think it rates that, because I didn't smell any mildew or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep it at the 6.5 for the aroma. For the composition, sorry. For the composition, the wrapper held up well. It didn't split. It didn't crack or peel or anything like that. So I'm gonna give it a solid 7 for the composition. No, that's not true, because even though the wrapper held up well, the draw got progressively tighter. It doesn't want to keep the cherry was getting harder and harder to keep lit, and the draw was getting tighter. Did I say that? Yeah, the draw was getting progressively tighter. The ash didn't hold up well. The ash was fraying and falling off super easy. And the cherry didn't want to stay lit. So I'm going to give it a 4 for the composition. Yeah, so 6.5 for the aroma, 4 for composition. And flavor, man, I was good with it for the first third. The first third was fucking tasty, right? I was getting leather. I was getting almost like a citrusy. I was getting cocoa notes. Shit was good, right? Like it was not super complex, but it was evolving in nice ways. And then I got the fucking second third, and I got like a burnt, almost sour, mildewy taste. It got real gross real fast. And I tried to push through it, but I'm not pushing through anymore. So I'm gonna say a 3 for the flavor. So 6.5 plus 4, 10.5 plus 3 is 13.5. 13.5 divided by 3. 4 point. $4.5? That sound right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 4.5. Victor Sinclair, you are disappointing yet again. Victor Sinclair Legacy, box press. Fucking 13.5, 4.5 overall. Disappointing. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I am relatively soon gonna get some software so I can start editing these. And then, so I think what I'm gonna do, an idea that popped into my head the other day, is I think that at the end of the year, not at the end of 2024, because I just started this shit, but like at the end of 2025, I think I'm going to do like a re-review of the 5 at a re-review of my 5 least favorite, right? Because shit happens. Maybe I got a bad stick, maybe I got, you know, maybe it was, yeah, maybe it was a bad steak, maybe it was kept at the wrong humidity, blah blah blah. Anything can happen. So I think I'm going to do like an end of year re-review of my bottom 5. We'll see how that goes. But for today, Victor Sinclair Legacy box press, 4.5 overall. Disappointing. Alright, I'll see y'all next time.